Yo, I have like 4 different things to talk about that are very different from one another, so we'll see how far I get this today. To be fair, I have skipped like 2 days in a row now, so that's a big yikers. But I have, I have updates on life, I guess, for my mega fans that are craving content, which is now you. You may not know it yet, but you are sure to be lured in by shit. My hook ended there. God damn it. Yeah, it's TLDR right now. I am very tired, which is not a new thing, but I have had some boys over. aka we had a huge thing that I will save. Because the only thing I can manage to talk about right now, because again I'm just too tired, is DND. So let's head into that. We have a backup campaign running right now, and it's pretty good. It's pretty solid, and we just rounded out the longest arc there has ever been. God damn it, I am not doing well in this run. To be fair, it's pretty much the only arc there has been. It's basically just a campaign for when we are not all here, 4 dudes living in an apartment playing D&D all the time. Eventually there's gonna be somebody who's not gonna show up, and what are we gonna do, just play without them? Yes, that is exactly what we're gonna do, but in another campaign that at some point kind of just took over our main campaign, which was kind of funny, but it's been turned around now. So the main thing that's been going on is that we are stuck in a city that is just covered, not covered, but surrounded by a wall, by a sphere, by a dome, if I may, of just acid rain, which I'm not gonna test the waters on how to get out of that. Apparently there's some funny homebrew lore that goblins can go in and out of acid rain. Like they can just, it's just normal rain for them. And one of our players was a goblin. But at this point, it's pretty much just the campaign without this goblin guy, this goblin player, Boblin the Goblin, canonically named. So yeah, he's not really gonna be he wasn't really relevant ever, and I thought my outsider POV is that the DM thought that was gonna be a critical point of interest, that we now had a goblin on our team, quote unquote team. A funny shtick about our campaign, about the backup campaign, is just that we all end up turning on each other every single session. But that kinda, that shtick kinda faded out throughout the last couple of sessions. Not because we wanted to, I don't know, it just always happened kinda incidentally. We ended up either fighting or straight up killing each other. Which is a funny shtick, but us only being 2 people in the party kinda solved a lot of those problems we had. So yeah, TLDR of like everything going up until now. I guess I don't even need to do a TLDR. This is just the yap I'm doing today. Is that I have been playing the same character throughout the entire backup campaign, but the others, not in the same camp. They have been switching between characters, jumping left and right. Just because, again, they all end up dead at some point, and I'm not against my character dying. I'm not too attached to him, but I'm beginning to be a little attached to him at this point. He's not a serious character whatsoever. He is a hog rider from the popular mobile deck building game Clash Royale, which I find pretty funny. We even found, a homebrew class, a cavalier class, that is absolutely atrocious. It is not built for combat, but it's pretty fun to, you know, just have a little minion with you, because, you know, I have to have both me, the rider, and the hog. And then the hog is from this homebrew class, the cavalier, where I can just summon a magical beast. That is, you know, it can be summoned in different forms. But I've homebrewed upon the homebrew, so I can only summon the hog from Hog Rider from Clash Royale, which sounds complicated and not very useful, and if you were to think that, you would be 100% correct. It is not very useful whatsoever. Also, the main shtick that this hog has... Oh, Thunder! The main shtick that it has is that it's a pretty good tank. Whenever it moves, the next time it were to take damage, it can just kind of negate it for... I'm at a level 6 now, just leveled up to level 7. It can take 10 hit points just like that every single round, basically. But fucking, I don't know, might be the DM's fault at this point. They just never fucking target the hog. Oh, Thunder! They never target the hog, which is pretty hilarious, but also pretty, like... I just feel so underpowered. Also because the only other thing I got to my name is, like, a Warhammer. Because that's, you know, Hog Rider shtick. And I also have no armor, so I have an armor class of 13, so everything can hit me. And I don't do that much damage, compared to, you know, my relatives. You know, they're all doing crazy fucking numbers and, you know, fucking attacking 3 times in a row. I don't even know. Here I am with my 2 D10s, which, when I say it out loud, is not that bad. Also, when I have my hog attached, it's not always... I have to summon him first, right? Of course, I can just have him around before combat, but if I do have him in combat, I have to... We're doing another run. I didn't even get into the lore. I just shitted about my character. Anyway, he's the only one of the party who's actually been alive. He's been close to death multiple times, but he's managed to pull through, and that's what I like about him, is that he's somehow managed. Yeah, fuck that one fly. But yeah, we, TLDR of the story at least, is that the party went to a city that was, it had an election going on, but we figured out a little scheme to this election that a witch was trying to take over the city. A witch and an evil goblin were trying to win. So the obvious thing is to become mayor ourselves. So we did that like 2 separate ways. Me as Frank as the Hog Rider, and the other 2 players as President and Vice President. Mayor and Vice Mayor, I don't know. It's it was a whole fucking thing. It was pretty funny. Also because, you know, we were outsiders. We had no idea what the hell was going on, but we managed to win. Not me, but, you know, the other guys managed to win. But, you know, the evil goblin I mentioned earlier, he was so fucking pissed about all this that he ended up just fucking up the entire city. And he is basically the reason that it is covered in acid rain, or surrounded by an acid rain dome. Pretty fun stuff. Not really, and it took it took a hell of a lot of sessions to get where we are now, finally having fixed this acid rain stuff. Also, I don't know, the people of this town are just fucking stupid. that's the main problem with this, like, why it took so long. It's just the people are fucking idiots. And I am not saying that lightly. They are just straight up killing each other. They have finally been given an excuse because, you know, there's an evil organization trying to revive a god or whatever, right? Now that is an excuse to, like, go and kill a bunch of people. You know, there's a bit more to it than that, but that's essentially it. And then when we try to confront them, they say, "Nah, we are serving justice. We are following the law." And then, you know, the law is apparently just, you know, if you steal a single piece of bread because you are a little EPDB hungry, you get burnt at the stake. Sorry. You get grilled alive at just in the town square. And they would not fucking change their mind on the fact that was, you know, a bit wrong. So that's a whole fucking thing. Then we finally found a faction that was kind of, you know, somewhat actually, you know, it was our faction. They've been waiting for us because we are the party of the original actual fucking mayor, right? And we are somewhat sane. So, you know, the obvious thing to do is to lead them, their hit squad, into an ambush. Our DM is fucking cruel. We lead them directly into an ambush, and, you know, the guys that said they were a police force, they dressed up as the main evil guys, the evil organization, and they just fucking yes, they are not the evil organization. There are two evil organizations, basically. I don't fucking know. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, why these townsfolk are so fucking dumb. God, it is unbearable. Also, the fact that that was even today, we had to fight our way through, you know, okay, so we got ambushed, right? And then, the guys we thought were our friends, the lawmakers, the law enforcer guys, they said, "Yeah, guys, actually we have, like, insider info, let's go, lead the way," and, you know, fuck, I hate Gorb. There were some technicalities that I didn't really calculate, where we went down like a big dark tunnel, and then we were blocked off, and I don't want to be a metagamer. I didn't think we were, like, leading the way, but apparently we were. So we were just kind of blocked in, and we were led to this fucking incredible encounter that is just kind of disconnected from everything, which was kind of refreshing because we've been in the city for quite a while. It's just, you know, underground temple with some sort of fucking creature that is nowhere near human, but he's, you know, he's been living with humans for a while and trying to fit in. But this creature does not have fucking eyes, and is still trying to mimic, you know, being human and walking on two legs and whatnot. And it is, I don't know, there was something about it. So, I mean, as much as I just chat on our DM, shout out to our DM. He's the goat at making thunder. He's the goat at making those encounters. Anyway, when we got up again, that, you know, we realized that was just kind of not really real. So, you know, obviously we just kind of glanced over that. We just, you know, turned the other cheek. I don't know. We turned a blind eye to all those things, all those magic, the magickery. and turned our attention to getting revenge on the guys that set us up, these lawmaker fellas, law enforcer guys who are supposed to be good guys. They market themselves as good guys. Oh no! But they're just murdering innocent people just because they have the slightest bit of an excuse to do so. And that was the session today, was trying to nail down to kill the head guy of that organization, because all the other guys are kind of, you know, they're kind of fucking insane, but you know, you can at least see where they're coming from. They're just, you know, they want a sense of normalcy in this place, and they have a leader. And none of them question their leader, apparently, but that's a whole nother thing. So we go down to their leader, and he is fucking smacking us up and down. This one fucking guy with so much aura is sitting in a chair down by... You know, when we got ambushed, they killed all of our guys except for one guy who is this guy's brother. There's a whole thing there that we didn't really unpack, but you know, it's a... That's a thing. So he was alive down in a cell, down in a prison cell. And he was, you know, the quote-unquote bad, the second main bad guy, the secondary bad guy. He was just sitting there waiting for us specifically to come rescue him, which I like. That's a lot of aura just sitting there, and also especially when he smacked our asses and just afterwards sat down again. Little did we know he had what, 11 HP left, and he should not have been this hard, but you know, in our non-metagaming minds, he is a fucking badass. He is just straight up better than us. But in metagaming terms, I think we landed like 20% of our hits. And he, you know, he rolled really fucking well, re-rolled really fucking bad. It is insane. So, yeah, we fucking lost and got laughed at, and then essentially we just had to, like, ignore them, ignore that entire faction. They were just fucking laughing at us the entire time. So, you know, we couldn't really get their help in defeating the main bad guys, because these guys were just the secondary bad guys. The main bad guys are still out there, so we went to them instead and figured out that, oh, we could have just went to them in the first place, you know, instead of all this going on. So we went there, we went over there, and it's just this gathering, you know, they've been just terrorizing the town, more so than these, you know, the peacekeepers of the town. They've been fucking slaughtering and massacring like everything in sight just to get like enough blood offerings for their god to be resurrected. But are you gonna kill me here? Okay, you're not. Thank God. Okay, well, shit. Anyway, we go down there, smack them up, bam, bam, bam. You know, again, pretty close to dying. Again, my class is fucking ass at combat. But we managed to make it through and kill some sort of voodoo doll and it down inside a literal bloodbath. And then the acid rain stopped, and now we are wandering off into the sunset. And if, I don't know, if you somehow managed to make it through all of this, congratulations, I guess. Now you know some of the lore to our backup campaign. I'm sorry, this was an awful yap. I really gotta just go to sleep. I cannot wait. Oh well, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.